chilling this morning. Thomas is eating some Life cereal. He is liking it. I am editing the video that'll go up tonight. And then, of course, the best friend, Elmo, by the light of the fireplace and drinking out of my most adorable polar bear mug. Had some oats. Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna leave you here, but I'm gonna try and film a little bit of the spin studio on my phone just so you can see it. So I'm getting a lot of questions about spin, so BRB, gonna take this one to school. I'm home, I'm sweaty, it was amazing. There's like the phases of spin where you're happy to be there and then you're wondering why the hell you're there and then you're super thrilled you did the class. So now it's 10:30 and I need to be out of here by about 12:30, but we were up at 5. I feel like I jinxed it by saying we'd been having good sleeps. I'm just kidding. We had been having good sleeps. He was up at 5. And so I have already edited the video for tonight and I've done all of my client work. All I need to do is export and upload and do the thumbnail and the tease for tonight's video. So I do have some time. I have some work to do too, but way ahead of the game because this afternoon I'm picking up Thomas early from school and we have to drive for an hour so we can get a new mold fitted for his hearing aid. But I'm feeling really good because for the last like 3 weeks in my car, I have had 3 bags of clothes and 2 boxes of diapers for the women's shelter, and I finally dropped them off this morning before spin. BRB, she's hungry, she's sweaty, happy that she did spin. Who's having a bath at 11 a.m.? This girl. Where can I angle you? There we go. There's just gifts. I'm wearing my new Style for the Priv sweater that I got Black Friday. It's got this like cool, then I've got on some shorter Old Navy jeans and I'm gonna wear boots. Ginger snap bite lips. How do I feel with this side pony? I just put it in because I didn't want my hair up. And I had the most relaxing bath. I meditated in the bath. Oh my God. Now I'm gonna do some work. Picked up Thomas from school. He's in the back. You can probably hear him. Maybe you can see him. It is so beautiful today and so sunny. I'm so happy right now. Especially because we're about to do a big drive. I also am excited because I messaged my friend Michelle, who I've known since I was 10, and we're gonna have sushi with her, which is exciting. Sometimes I'll go to these appointments with Thomas. We'll just do the appointment and we'll come straight home if it's like, you know, depending on the day. Today I was like, let's do something nice. We're gonna drive for like 2.5 hours, so excited to see her. Also excited to not have to make dinner tonight. I'm gonna eat and listen. Right now I'm listening to You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. And then I thought I would chat a bit about some questions I've been getting in regards to having a child with special needs. So we're gonna eat and then we'll BRB. We've both had a snack. Trip's going great, we're making good time. So I thought I would just take this opportunity, since we're gonna be in the car for a long time today, to talk about being an advocate for your child. This is a question I get a lot. I know there are many marathoners who found my channel because they are also raising children with special needs, or there's also people who found my channel because they're in the industry, so whether they're therapists or teachers or educational assistants, which I think is just so cool. So Thomas, just like a quick backstory, he was born hard of hearing or deaf, and he got his hearing aids when he was 4 months old. Then when he was 3, he got his cochlear implant, and well, just before he turned 3, he got his cochlear implant, and then just after he turned 3, he was diagnosed with autism. So I've never known anything except being the parent of a child with special needs. Like, Thomas was born, the next day he failed his hearing test. But there's no guidebook, there's no course to take, there's nothing. It's all like learning as you go or learning on the job kind of thing. And it can be incredibly difficult and frustrating. And I remember thinking, like, why isn't there a manual that tells me what money to apply for, what funding there is, what bursaries there are, you know, how to get respite, how to, you know, choose your child's team. Like, so many decisions all the time. And there's no guidebook, because there's no right or wrong way to do it. But this is what I've done, and I thought I would just talk about some things that have been on my mind. I've been getting more DMs lately from people whose children are on a list to have the autism assessment. Some saying that they don't understand, that they don't think their child needs it, and then others saying, like, you know, just asking a million questions. So obviously everyone's different, and that's a frustrating answer. But what I can say is how I've learned to be an advocate for Thomas. And it's not something that came easily to me. I really struggled with it. I am not someone who likes confrontation. I'm not someone who likes to complain. I don't like to stir the pot, but I've definitely changed since Thomas was born. I mean, I still don't like to do these things for no reason, but when he's involved, you better believe that I've learned how to stick up for him. So for me, what's worked for me and how to be an advocate for Thomas has been being very respectful to any professionals that we come across, which isn't always easy. You know, there's one audiologist who took off Thomas's hearing aid and cochlear implant because they were looking into his ears, and then started talking to him. And I literally had to say, hi, he can't hear you. You just took his aids out. You're the hearing specialist. Like, what? I've had to take people off the team because I didn't like how they were treating us, and it's difficult. So what works for me in being an advocate, being very respectful, but firm, and remembering that you know your child the best. So I was recently just talking to a mom who is about to start seeing some specialists, and her son is gonna be getting the autism assessment. And that's what I said to her, was like, you need to remember, like, they're the doctor, they're the expert, but you know your child, like, you're with him the most. And I said this in a conference call with a team of specialists last month. Like, hi, I know you're the expert, but I'm with Thomas the most, and I'm not on board with this recommendation. And they were like, okay, like, we'll figure it out, you know? So being respectful, remembering that they are just someone who's like doing their 9 to 5, they're just doing their job, they're not emotionally invested, they're not, well, some of them are on our team for sure, but some aren't. Like, they're just there to get their paycheck, to do their job, this is what they're doing. Like, let them have their expertise, let them have, you know, glean what you can from them. You know, and I try to remember, like, they probably have kids, or maybe they're having a tough day or whatever, which is like where the 4 agreements comes in handy. You know, it's not all about you, or don't make assumptions. Hello. Also, it's okay to ask questions in a meeting when it comes to your child, even if you're just meeting with your child's teacher and your child doesn't have special needs. Like, you can be an advocate for them, obviously, regardless, but like in a meeting, asking questions or asking for clarification. Like, I have found there's sort of two types of therapists and experts. Ones who are so condescending and want to be like in layman's terms that it's offensive, or the ones that like totally talk over your head and they talk to one another and you have no idea what they're saying. Like, hi, what does that mean? Like, how many times I've been in a meeting and I've had to say like, what is that acronym? I don't know. And like catching my ego before I start to feel stupid. Like, how would I know what that acronym is? This isn't my industry, this is their job. Or when they talk to one another, being like, hi, like, I need to be included in this conversation. So it's okay to ask questions. I take notes. It's okay to ask the same question 5 times over. Like, I believe that it's part of Thomas's team to make sure that I understand it, because I am the one that is seeing him the most all day, every day. Also, like I said, I could apologize for this light, but it's so sunny and nice out that we're just gonna, every corner we go around, the light's gonna change. Another thing that always has stuck out in my mind has been, early on, there was one government official or government employee that was new to the team who I needed to talk to. And I think I left like 7 or 9 messages before they returned my phone call. And when they returned my phone call, there was no reference or apology for the 7 to 9 messages I had left. It was as if I had just left a message and he was just returning my call. And I was like, so annoyed, and I felt so disrespected, but I also didn't mention it. I was just like, all right, I have him on the phone now. I can be rude and call him out, or I can just be like, I have your time now. Let's get to my questions. And at the end of that call or meeting, I can't remember what, at the end of the call, he did say to me like, thank you for being so persistent. I have 100 kids in my caseload. So if I'm not looking at Thomas's file, I'm looking at 99 others. And he basically said to me, as an advocate for your child, it's your job to ensure that I am looking at Thomas's file. So that's really stuck with me. I also think that it's good to remember, like I was saying, as someone is just doing their job, that they're not there to be friends with you. And I have definitely had clashes with people on Thomas's team, but in the end, like, they're doing their job and they're doing a hell of a good job at that. So we're not there to be friends, we're not there to be social, like, we're not gonna hang out. Just because our personalities don't get along doesn't mean they're not the right fit for Thomas, and we use their expertise. I think sometimes, at least it's been my experience, that sometimes, not often, the professional is almost like numb to the emotion or the gravity of the situation. And I have been very appreciative of people on the team who, no matter if it's like, say like his audiologist at Children's, I have no idea how many patients she's had in her career or how many cochlear implants she's helped kids get. But like, I would have always felt like, I feel like we're her only person on her whole caseload. Like, she's so lovely, she's so empathetic, she explains things well, she's calm, she's understanding, she's very accommodating. And like, to me, that is a great, it's like such a lovely thing. Like, I am so grateful for people on the team who make us feel that way. Also, another thing that I have told a couple of parents recently is that it's okay to make a phone call and be like, hey, has there been a cancellation? Or, you know, is there any other place I can get my autism assessment if it's gonna take like 9 months? But always professional and understanding that there's a lot of other people. But, you know, if you're the one who's speaking up, maybe you'll get a service quicker, or you'll be seen faster, or you'll get the help that you need. And haven't talked a ton about Thomas's new care, but I will say, like, we are now under the tutelage, I guess you could say, of Meridian, which, if you're local and you have a child on the spectrum, I am so impressed, and I cannot believe the amount of progress that Thomas has made. It is crazy. Sorry, bud. That was my ranch dressing. Yep. Where did you go? My tripod just went in the ranch dressing. Oh, delicious. But we're not gonna run a yellow light. Oh my God. I knew that was waiting for something. Oh right, Meridian. I cannot believe Thomas's progress. And one thing, no matter where you live or what your services are, the game changer for me has been that Meridian is teaching me what to do, and since I'm with him the most and the longest, it is so empowering to know what to do and to be doing it. I cannot recommend them enough. So whether you're local and you can check out Meridian, they're right throughout the valley, or if you like live elsewhere in the States or whatever and you have someone else who's doing your child's autism care, really consider asking for yourself to be trained, because it is such a game changer. I cannot believe the things that Thomas has done and hit and changed. Also, I am so appreciative of my school team because they have allowed the Meridian team to come in and work together. And this is not the case. I think it might be the only school locally that does that, and to me that is so absurd. Like, why can't we all just work together and put our egos aside for the best care for our child or our student or whatever? Like, if they all didn't work together, we wouldn't be as far as we are. Like, Thomas wouldn't be making the progress that he is. Like, for example, last week or a week ago, he started imitating shaking his head no. He's never done that. It is mind-blowing to me, the progress he's made. He's never been able to imitate, and imitation is how most kids learn. And so to see him, and he's like imitating so many different things, it's incredible. So to be able to have like the deaf and hard of hearing team working, like all different, what's happening here? Oh, okay, is she okay? Okay, just pulled over. Okay, we're good. To have like the deaf and hard of hearing teacher work with the special needs team, work with his EA who works with Meridian, and they all work with me, to have everyone in sync, and his school teacher too, it just makes such better progress for Thomas. So that is all the rambling I'm gonna do, because that's 17 minutes and oh my God, this is gonna be a long video. But I really have had this on my list to film for a while, and I thought, since we're going to an appointment for Thomas's hearing, I may as well talk about it now. If you're a parent who's an advocate, I hope that those tips help you, and also just me talking about it, you're not alone. I also just wanted to give a shout out to anyone who's raising a child with special needs, because that aspect is like another full-time job. The paperwork, the appointments, the planning, the stress, the extra care, the extra therapy. I'm with you on that. So with that, yeah, I'll still vlog a little bit, because after the appointment, I think we're gonna go to HomeSense and then get some sushi, but that's it for now. This is gonna be such a long video. Oh my gosh. Living his best life.
Right? So good. All the sushi.
Mm-hmm. Yours looks amazing. Thank you. You got two. One in each hand there, sir.
Double fisting it.
I love this table where you like take your shoes off and chill out.
Yeah, it's cute, eh?